I got to tell you, Texas, we are taking a lot of L's. San Antonio, Texas, with this story, just, I don't understand how Texas keeps producing these. But nonetheless, I'm going to give you the details of this story. Before I do, let me give you a disclaimer. Only take a second. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. So, San Antonio, Texas, and I'm getting this story from Kens, KENS5.com, so thank you for the article. A family called Kens 5 alleging neglect of a toddler at the hands of a local daycare worker. They say that Noah Rivas, the little baby that you see right there, beautiful little baby, but check this out. Let me show you guys this picture. Look at this. Noah Rivas, who was 1.5, received multiple bite marks at an Eastside child care facility. Y'all see this? If I was a parent, I'd be pissed. I'd be so pissed. To think, 8 bite marks? He must have been screaming. He must have been crying. He must have been scared, said Victoria Delgado, the mother of Noah Rivas. How can you not notice 8 bite marks? And I'm just not understanding that. On March 1st, around 4 p.m., Noah's father, Francisco Rivas, went to pick him up from daycare. Noah attended Iman Tot Academy off South W.W. White Road. As the two were walking out of daycare, Francisco said he noticed a weird mark on Noah's arms. Noah was wearing a short-sleeved shirt. The bite marks were very, very visible, said Delgado. They were red and puffy. His dad questioned, "Are those bite marks?" And the lady that brought him out was like, "Oh my God, those are bite marks." The family says the employees went back to the main area of the daycare where the parents aren't allowed and returned a couple of minutes later. The employee said, "We don't have incident report. We don't know what happened. The teacher that was watching him left early. We were short-staffed and we could give you the incident report in the morning." Francisco was like, "We don't have it right now." And she was like, "No, because we can't fill it out ourselves. It has to be a teacher that was watching him," Delgado explained. Delgado said Noah's father didn't want to make a scene, so he brought Noah home to wash the wounds and apply ice, which there's no way, and I'm going to just stop right there. As a parent, let me ask y'all who are listening, what would y'all have done? Would you have left that facility, took your child home? I think the appropriate answer is no, you should not have done that. I would have been right there, called police, got up there and made the report immediately. I would have not have given them any opportunities to think that something like this might have happened at home. You say it happened at daycare, we would have stayed at daycare. We would not have left there till the police got there. But I'm just throwing that out there, cautionary tale. We got to be thinking better than this. Later that night, Delgado said Noah sat Noah on the bathroom counter, took his shirt off. Good thing the mirror was behind him, and when pulling off his shirt, I saw the reflection, the 6 bites on his back, as she held back tears. Delgado said a couple of the bites had broken skin. State policy requires a child care facility to file an incident report whenever a child is injured. Parents must also be notified of less serious injuries such as bites soon as they pick up their child. Them changing him, feeding him, they didn't see any visible bites all day, said Francisco. They didn't call us and ask, "Hey, did your son have bite marks?" The family couldn't help but think of a previous situation at the daycare 2 weeks prior. They said Noah tripped and fell at home and busted his lip. Yeah, they messing up with that right there. I'm going to just leave that alone, but let's keep going. As soon as we took him to daycare the following day, they made us as parents fill out an incident report stating the lip injury didn't happen here, said Delgado. See? That's what I'm saying. Now they don't know anything about incident reports, but they were real quick when they saw the lip. So what about this incident? Delgado said the night she encountered Noah's bite, she immediately called the daycare. The director of the daycare, she was apologizing. She didn't know what happened, Delgado recalled. She said she wasn't there on the premises and that she would watch the video and try to figure out what happened. Delgado took Noah to the emergency room where a doctor prescribed him 4 weeks worth of antibiotics. The doctors did say that there are child bite marks. She filed an incident report with the SAPD at the Children's Hospital of San Antonio. In a preliminary report, I don't know why I can't say that, preliminary report, police said that they were called to the hospital by a mother who said when she picked up her 2-year-old son from a local daycare, she observed that her son had multiple bites on his body. Victoria also called CPS to report the daycare. Noah can't talk. He's only a year old. I can't ask him who hurt you, she said. The family said that the daycare director promised to reach out again the following day. They said they are still waiting on that call. We had put him in there previously, took a break because we couldn't afford it, Delgado explained. Then I started school. CCS helped me out, which is why I put him in daycare. I didn't even want to put him in daycare, but I had no one else to watch him. Thursday, March the 2nd, Noah's grandfather recorded his conversation with the employee at the daycare. 1 bite or 2, but 8? That's neglect and abuse, the grandfather told the employee. There was nothing that we've seen on cameras, the employee replied. We even had our state person that just left from here to review it, and there was nothing seen on there. For Texas facilities licensed to care for 13 or more children, there are ratio rules daycares must follow, which we don't have to talk about all of that. Let me skip some of this. Delgado has since called the city's child care services to get Noah an emergency transfer to a new daycare. Obviously, it shouldn't have happened. I would hate for it to happen to someone else's child, she said. I would just like to see that daycare be held accountable. In the meantime, if any parent feels that an injury happened on site at a daycare center, they should immediately contact the Texas Department of Family Protective Services to file a report of suspected abuse of that child. That number is 800-252-5400. Here's the thing. Very simple thing to do. Call the damn police. You don't take your child home, let a whole day go by, and then talk about what the daycare did and you didn't get that handled and squared immediately. There should have been nothing else that should have been important except for taking care of your child. I'm saying that to the parents. I would have never left that daycare. I would have never left that parking lot. Let me give you guys the fair usage. I don't know. I think that might have hurt their case just a little bit. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. And I did think that alleged daycare worker leaving early, I thought all of that was weird. Just none of this makes any sense. I think everybody screwed up here. Do me a favor. Let me know what you guys think. Hit that thumbs up to share this video. It's one short video. Here we go.
To think like 8 bites, he must have been screaming. He must have been crying. He must have been scared.
As a San Antonio mother undressed her toddler for his bath, she became hysterical when she discovered these. Look at this. Human bite marks all over her son's back. Some spots had broken skin, and she believes these injuries happened at daycare. Well, the next day, her family called KENS 5 to share their story. They sat down with reporter Elisa Nieves, who looks into the history of this East Side child care facility.
March 1st, around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Francisco Rivas walked into Eman Todd Academy off South W.W. White to pick up his son, Noah. As they were walking out, Francisco said he noticed weird marks on Noah's arms.
He was wearing a short sleeve shirt. The bites were very, very visible. They were red, red, puffy, and his dad questioned, like, are those bites? And the lady that brought him out was like, oh my God, those are bites.
The family says the employee went back into the main area of the daycare where parents are not allowed and returned a couple of minutes later.
And said, we don't have an incident report. We don't know what happened. The teacher that was watching him left early. We were short staffed. We could give you the incident report in the morning. And he was just like, well, y'all don't have it right now. And she was just like, no, because we can't fill it out ourselves. It has to be the teacher that was watching him.
Noah's mom, Victoria Delgado, said Francisco didn't want to make a scene, so he brought Noah home to wash the wounds and apply some ice. Later that night, Victoria sat Noah on the bathroom counter.
I took off his shirt, and good thing like the mirror was behind him, so when I was pulling up his shirt, I saw in the reflection the 6 bites on his back.
State policy requires a child care facility to file an incident report whenever a child is injured. Parents must also be notified of less serious injuries, such as bites, as soon as they pick up their child.
Them changing him, feeding him, they didn't see those visible bites all day, and they didn't call us and ask like, hey, did your son have bites?
Victoria says she immediately called the daycare.
From the director of the daycare, she was apologizing. She said she didn't know what happened. She wasn't there on the premises, and that she would, watch the video and try to figure out, what happened.
Victoria took Noah to the emergency room where a doctor prescribed him a week's worth of antibiotics.
The doctor did say that they are child bites.
She filed a report with SAPD at the Children's Hospital of San Antonio. In a preliminary report, police say they were called there by a mother who said when she picked up her 2-year-old son from a local daycare, she observed that her son had multiple bite marks on his body. Victoria also called CPS to report the daycare.
And he can't talk. He's only a year old. I can't ask him, like, who hurt you,
The family said the daycare director promised to reach out again the following day. They say they're still waiting for that call.
We had put him in there previously, took a break because we couldn't afford it. And then I started school. CCS helped me out, and which is why I put him in daycare. I didn't even want to put him in daycare, but I didn't have no one else to watch him.
How you doing?
March 2nd, Noah's grandfather recorded this conversation at the daycare.
1 bite or 2, but 8, that's neglect and abuse.
The person
First of all, let me say this. Let me back it up just a hair. He went up there and was recording this conversation. Let me explain something, Mr. Grandpa, Uncle Grandpa. Sir, you can't do that. You can't do that. Y'all are hurting your case. If something happened that an adult possibly was either neglectful or possibly even did it themselves, if y'all are overworked and this person left early and didn't fill out an incident report and didn't know nothing, then you have to present your case in a fashion that either Child Protective Services or the police will be able to justify getting you some charges or getting you some action. What you can't go do is take your old grandpa crusty butt up there and go recording these people, and you probably didn't ask for their confirmation. Can they be recorded? Isn't that something? One thing that I've learned, especially as far as being a content creator on YouTube, is when you bring somebody in for an interview, guess what you have to have in almost all states? You have to have a confirmation that they know that they are being recorded and being presented to the camera. If they don't know that, you can't record. Uncle Grandpa. If y'all look up Uncle Grandpa, that's literally what he looks like. Look, the kid's going to be okay. He's going to survive. He's okay. He's good. Probably a little traumatized. But that is a horrible look on Dad's part for agreeing to take the child home and then y'all handle it another day. No effing way. No effing way. We wouldn't have been going no damn where. We would have figured it out that day. I would have got an answer that day. We was going to get some responses that day. I don't know, like the intestinal fortitude of these parents, but we'll figure it out another day. I'll take him home, put some ice on it, and no, we gonna figure this out right damn now. I better get the police up here real quick. Somebody gonna give me an answer. They messed this whole thing up, and this stupid crap just made it worse.
March 2nd, Noah's grandfather recorded this conversation at the daycare.
1 bite or 2, but 8, that's neglect and abuse.
The person he's talking to, he says, is an employee of Eman Todd Academy.
There was something that we seen on the cameras. We even had our state person that just left from here to review, and there was nothing seen on there.
For Texas facilities licensed to care for 13 or more children, there are ratio rules daycares must follow. This chart from the minimum standards for child care centers shows the mandatory ratio depends on the child's age. Noah, for example, falls under the 18 to 23 months category, meaning his group can only have up to 9 children per caregiver.
Yes, it's usually 2 people in the classroom, and it doesn't have to be because it's only 1 to 11. And yesterday, I believe it was only 10 children. And so it was 1 teacher in there instead of 2.
We went to the daycare too.
I'm a reporter with Channel 5, and I'm here about Mr. Noah Rivas. The family said that he got these bite marks here, and I was wondering if I might be able to talk with someone.
No, we're not able to talk right now.
Now, you notice that? When the news people up there and told them I'm getting ready to record this, and they said, nope, not right now. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. They know how this goes, and there's no way that they would even have said any of what they told Uncle Grandpa on camera if he would have told them, I'm recording you. That just proved it.
Friday, Victoria met with the Texas Department of Family Protective Services and CPS. We did some digging on the Texas Health and Human Services website and found since they opened in 2016, technology innovative for today's youth doing business as Eman Todd Academy doesn't show a history of serious problems or infractions. Compared to the other 148 licensed child care centers in Bexar County that accept subsidies and opened in 2016 or later, the number of deficiencies at Eman Todd Academy lands about average. The most serious incidents involved the discovery of an infant in a crib with a stuffed toy and the daycare not releasing a child to a parent because of a custody dispute. HHS said the issues were resolved. Victoria called the city's child care services to get Noah an emergency transfer to another daycare.
Obviously, it shouldn't have happened, but I would hate for it to happen to someone else's child.
Right now, we're in talks with CPS to see if there's any investigation going on that's involving this daycare. In the meantime, if any parent out there feels that their child's injury happened on site at a daycare, they should immediately call the Texas Department of Family Protective Services.
And we've already given that information out. But again, like I say, and somebody in the chat said it won't be allowed in court. And that's the point, is because if you're going to handle this in a legal fashion, you don't want to hurt your case. And I think that they hurt their case quite a bit. Maybe we'll do an update if there's something substantial that comes from this. I don't really know that it is, though. I don't think they really have much of a case. But keep the baby in your prayers and just hope that everything turns out all right. So it's not so much of a bad story, just interesting. But let me know what you guys think.